Welcome to Lesson 1 of the Human Resources Unit. In this unit, the key questions are: what are the reasons for having internal organisational structures? What are the different job roles within an organisation? What is meant by span of control? These are the key terms. Read through them carefully. Organisational structure, span of control, delayering, delegation. Businesses have many different roles and responsibilities and need staff to carry them out. The role of human resources is to identify the needs of the business and ensure that they are met. The way in which a business is organised has a direct effect on its competitiveness. For a business to be able to achieve its aims and objectives, it needs to organise its people in a suitable way. This is known as the organisational structure. The organisational structure of a business is important because it determines authority and responsibility, who is responsible for whom and who is in charge, individual job roles and titles, the people to whom others are accountable, the formal routes through which communication flows in the business. One way to think of the organisation structure is of an explanation of the command and control system in a business. Task. Pause the video. Using a school as an example, draw an organisational chart to show responsibility and seniority within that environment. For example, the head teacher may be at the top of the chart, but who falls underneath and, most importantly, where? Let's take a look at two types of structures. A tool structure is sometimes referred to as a hierarchical organisational structure. It has many layers of management, and businesses with this structure often use a top-down approach. In a top-down approach, there is clear accountability, which means that it is clear who is responsible for which tasks. This structure requires a significant number of middle managers, which can result in managers at the top of the structure being quite remote from the staff at the bottom of the structure. Task. Pause the video. List 3 features of a tall organisational structure. A flat structure is an organisational structure with only a few layers of management. In a flat structure, decisions can be made more quickly because there are fewer managers to consult. Smaller businesses, or those adopting a more modern approach to management, commonly use flat organisational structures. Task. Pause the video. Can you identify the pros and cons of both flat and tall structures? Organisational charts. The organisational structure of a business is usually illustrated graphically using an organisational chart. This shows who does each role, who they are responsible for managing, and who they are accountable to. An organisational chart might look like this. Key terms in organisational structure. There are a number of key terms that apply to organisational structures. Span of control, the number of staff that a manager has responsibility for. Chain of command, the route by which instructions and communications flow from the top to the bottom of a business, explaining who is answerable to whom. Delayering, a process where a business removes layers of its management to make its structure more flat. Delegation, a process where tasks are given by managers to employees further down the chain of command. Subordinates, members of staff below a manager in the chain of command. Task. Pause the video. Briefly explain what you think is meant by the organisational hierarchy.